Let's go down and check what we got. We have about 3.5 double chests worth of warp stems. But the next issue we gotta solve now is being able to store all of this, and more specifically, store them into shulker boxes. What up, my roomies, and welcome back to the technical guide to Minecraft. And it's been a while. It's been a rough couple of days, weeks, months, depending on how far you look back. But yeah, we are back, and today we need to go solve this inventory issue. So while I was away, some of my interns actually came into this place and organized this place for me, which was super nice. Like, they really didn't have to, but they felt like I needed a bit of a nudge into the right direction. So specifically, Hanami, thank you so much, by the way, went ahead and organized all this for me, which I think is a passive-aggressive nudge for me to make this storage system already. Look, I'm listening, all right? I'm gonna fix it, and I'm gonna make a storage system. I need to build the infrastructure, yo. Come on. They went ahead and fixed up the different assortments of inventories that I have over here into a lot of double chests. And even then, some of which, you know, are kind of uncategorized because they're kind of, well, all over the place, as you can see. So today we're going to go ahead and build ourselves a shulker farm. And in order to get shulker boxes, we're going to need a shulker farm. But we're not going to be using the shulker farm that we used for the mob switch. No. In fact, we are going to be using an originally made shulker farm, which will then introduce the idea of using multiple dimensions in order to get farming done. So welcome to Gigacore, where safety is a concern. In the previous episode, we talked about how shulkers reproduce. This mechanic was used in order to create our mob switch over in the overworld and in the nether. So as a brief recap, all we gotta do is have the shulker be aggro to something, then have it hit itself enough times, duplicates itself like this. And by using that mechanic of it hitting itself its own shulker bullet, we could create a lot of shulker shells without actually having to go into the end. And this is where our shulker breeder comes into play. See, in the previous episode, we talked about how nether portal mechanics work and how to get each nether portal at different spots. See, the thing is that doesn't only apply to the X and Z coordinate, it also affects the Y coordinate as well. So even though these are all in the same X and Z coordinates, these all go to a different nether portal at different Y locations. And this right here is where we have the shulker duplication chamber. And just like before, when the shulker hits itself with its own shulker bullet, it'll replicate. But the interesting thing to note is that because all of these nether portals are close together, they all end up on the same nether portal on the other side. And here on the other side is where the shulkers end up. And because there's no other platforms for them to go to, they have to choose between 3 of these platforms. And then from here, they get picked up by these 2 minecarts and go back and forth to these wither roses, where they'll eventually die because of the wither rose. Now, using nether portals is not a new thing when it comes to shulker reproduction. However, how we can make sure that it gets replaced is. See, over here we have something that registers whether or not snowballs are being thrown into a shulker, which is then split off into 3 different repeaters, and then finally to this timer. This timer then keeps that trapdoor live so that when it does turn off, it'll change the position of the bottom scaffolding the observer will notice, and then will send a pulse through to this minecart. Let me demonstrate. Let's say the shulker for whatever reason isn't able to reproduce and actually dies. So the scaffolding changed, you saw the signal change, the minecart going through, and on the other side, you saw briefly that the shulker gets transported through. And the way that works is that when the minecart goes through initially, it'll go through on the top of this nether portal. Will then hit that block in front of it, fall down, and then very slowly make its way up. You'll notice that the powered rails don't line up this entire upway. And that's because we're trying to buy a time for it to be off cooldown to teleport from the overworld to the nether and vice versa. Once it gets over here, activator rail will then push the shulker off into this nether portal while the minecart also goes through on its own. Then from here, the shulker will go through here, get picked up, and then fall into this cobweb. The reason why we're making the shulker go through the cobweb is that now the shulker has a cooldown, and for it to properly reproduce, it needs to be off cooldown before it can teleport. Hence why we're slowing it down with the cobweb. Then it goes down and the whole process repeats itself. Thus, the timer then turns back on, the system then resets itself, and it's now ready for when the next time the shulker dies for whatever reason. When having this kind of design, when it comes to shulker reproduction, you always need to take into account whether or not the shulker will die. And putting this extra couple of steps in order for it to ensure that it'll keep going beyond its death is incredibly important. For those that want to play around with this, there's going to be a schematic in the description below. And for those that want a block by block tutorial, please let me know in the comments below. So now that we've got this whole thing explained, let's go back to the technical guide world and build it. Quick interruption. I noticed that only 12% of you are actually subscribed to this channel. Watching this long, I must be doing something right, so if you like this video, hit that like button and please subscribe to this channel. Any support helps and these videos take a bit long to make. Thank you so much and back to the video. Alright, now that we got all that out of the way, let's go ahead and build us this shulker farm. Okay, now that we set this entire thing up, now we gotta ride this minecart all the way back to the shulker farm, get a shulker, and basically load this entire farm up. We're finally reaching the point where we're finished with the shulker farm. It took 2 seasons, but we're here. You know, on hindsight, I probably shouldn't have put 2 farms close to each other because it'll affect rates, but we're moving our operations to a different location anyway, and we'll probably build it. Oh, geez, no, oh. I didn't mean to. I'm so used to pressing shift. Okay, as I was saying, because we're moving our base of operations to a new location, that area is going to be what I would consider a starter location. And so we're going to get all the starter farms in that area, and then we're going to rebuild them, upgrade them in our new location. So while I'm going to miss the old base, in order to progress to something new, sometimes you just got to go to somewhere else in order to get things done. And right now we're just going over to the old shulker farm to go get ourselves hopefully 1 shulker and move them over into the new area. Okay, so here's the plan. As we approach our destination, this shulker is going to go immediately into the system and begin the shulker farm. And because the system is online, I believe, as soon as this shulker gets sent up all the way to the top, the farm will begin, which means that once it gets there, we have very little time to tear down the ramp that we made for the shulker. But for all intents and purposes, that's it. We're kind of done. As soon as the shulker gets in, it should just begin working. Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.